took over the school 4 years ago, and we've had School Voice for about 4 years actually, or 3.5 years since the beginning. In the beginning, we used to have the school communication book. It was a booklet. So it was old school writing and communicating with the parents. The teacher would send them a message and they would write back. With the pandemic, School Voice kind of took over. It was our main way of communicating because you couldn't send a book home anyway, a home communication book. So it really took precedence over any other platform or way that we used or method. School Voice is our only form of communication with the parents other than obviously in person.
SMS الخاصية اللي ما كنتش حابة فيها أنه بيروح لكل أولياء الأمور. كان في طريقة تانية كان البعض بيستخدمها هي الواتساب، لكن it's not professional. فكانوا أهالي بيطلبوا أرقام تليفونات المدرسة على الواتساب، كنا بنساعدهم وكان في إمكانية أنه نكلم يعني أشخاص معينة على الواتساب، لكن it's not professional. ما أشوف أنا الواتساب يعني لايق كمدرسة. أفضل يعني تطبيق سكول فويس يعني أحسن، لأنه في عليه كنترول وفي عليه يعني بتحس أنه أحسن مو professional.
قبل كنت أنا ما بعرف إنه كان في شيء ثاني بالسوق ممكن يخليني أتواصل براحتي، لأنه افترض عم تبعت تعميم كيف هتبعته لولي الأمر؟
So before School Voice, it was just there was really no structure. We were using WhatsApp only as the form of communication officially, which for schools you need something that's already established.
So we had problems like we're a school where we do not give out teachers' phone numbers. So WhatsApp is not an option for privacy reasons and to respect the teachers' privacy and rest. So with School Voice, the parents had an alternative to that because we otherwise would have no method to communicate. Obviously you have the phone calls, but it's not the same. And we have about 1,800 students. So phone calls can only take so much. And this is more individualized to the teacher. So it solved the problem of privacy, and it also solved the problem of it was more, immediate. So the teacher could check her messages. And for us as leadership, for sending things out, it was very efficient.
School Voice حل مشكلة الكوميونيكيشن ما بين التيتشر وما بين ولي الأمر من غير تدخل الإدارة، فصار دايركت، فصار يعني تقريب المعلم للأهالي. بتدخل بتختار معلم ولدها بتبعت له يعني الإشكالية اللي عندها.
Some things we were trying to put in place is just consistency, a place where we can upload as much as we need for the parents to understand that we are working for their child inside the school. A form of communication where we can consistently not run into issues with something crashing. The translation piece was important because we do have a few parents who don't speak Arabic as their first language, and then even for me communicating, we were looking for something to at least get some form of structure, to be honest, because it just wasn't here. And I believe School Voice did a lot of that.
The thing I noticed, and I noticed this because I'm the School Voice admin and we receive a lot of new teachers, you know, there's transition and stuff. Honestly, for me, it's the simplicity. We have a new teacher and he said, can you show me how to use School Voice? Because we already did the session, so he's late in coming. So I literally had to sit with him, not even 10 minutes. And I was able to communicate. So this is how you send a message. This is how you use the chat. And this is how you send a file. And he's an inclusion teacher. So he would be sending a lot of files back and forth between him and the parents because inclusion has a lot of consent forms, approval, and communication needed. So within 10 minutes, I was able to give him a general, I'm not saying it's everything, but a general tutorial. So the simplicity of it is a big thing.
حاسة إن سكول فويس يعني في رقابة، هذه يعني نقطة مهمة. أنت عارف إحنا مدرسة وعلينا رقابة وعلينا يعني مسؤوليات كبيرة، فنفضل طبعا تطبيق اللي بيكون كنترولد ويكون كل شيء فيه يعني تحت الرقابة وما يعني تفاديا للمشاكل. What
I really appreciate, honestly, and I'm not just saying this because of the recording, is School Voice has been very responsive to our needs. I feel like because it's been about almost 4 years, the suggestions we make, you know, like we had an issue with the phone numbers in the beginning. And the issues that we bring up, like for example, the web chat, we were saying it'd be nice, So back in the day, like the suggestions are taken and you see action taken after you give a suggestion, which to me means you actually are, you know, you care about that it's being used effectively. So that's a big deal. Honestly, like we rarely see that. If it's a foreign company, in order to get hold of somebody to communicate with, it's a mission. So that is also the convenience of it.
practical, yeah, very practical.
مريحة بكل الأحوال بغض النظر عن أي مشاكل تجي بالفيز الثالثة بعد ما أنت تخلص شغلك. مريحة يعني حتى اللي ما بيستعملوا بيجي تعال له استعمله بيقول لي والله شو سهل ليش ما عم تستعمله أنا؟
I'd say adjustment because it's a new it's something that they haven't had at the school. So I'll say it again, 30 plus years of the school not having anything like School Voice.
I actually think it was maybe again because we're living post-pandemic. It was the pandemic and how useful it came. Because I'll tell you, we had as a school during the pandemic, we had a lot of applications, like a lot of applications. And what was an unexpected surprise was every platform had a login and a password, and you know you have to communicate that and stuff like that. School Voice was an unexpected thing because parents could just enter their phone number. So it kind of reduced the stress on us. So the unexpected benefit or whatever I want to call it is that how convenient it was during COVID, because we have a lot of platforms. So we didn't expect it to have such an importance compared to the other platforms.
انك تختار يعني طلبة معينين تبعت لهم، خصوصا لما بحط يعني على اكسل الايسس نمبرز تبع الطلاب ويروح لهم السلكتد طلاب. This is amazing.
خصوصي بالسيرش لما أنت تبحث على رسالة قديمة.
I would say the platform when you're viewing it, but I don't know if my feed is proper. Last time I checked, it's been a while, but I like to be able to see. I'm a visual person, so when I see everything all in front of me, when I log in one time and I like that piece of it, rather than I have to first choose here and then go there and then I can see only for this piece. I like to see everything that's going on in one place, and then I can choose. So it's been pretty easy for me. And those who, when y'all came in and did the training after that, we didn't really have too many people complaining about just the feel of the platform. It seems pretty easy for the people. So that was good to hear.
I would say it's about sending out messages to parents as a whole, because we do have, like, you know, you can use others, but this one, and I've noticed that parents are, for example, like if we have an event at school, like I don't know, an international day or something, and we know it's working, is because when we send the mass message with the attachment and the flyer and everything, kids the next day are coming all dressed up, all whatever. So that means it's working.
بالنسبة للمدرسين بيفضلوا الشات والميموريز. يعني حلو انك you select whatever you want، وفيها وخاصية انه في جريد 1 لحاله وجريد 2 وفي كمان يعني الصفوف لحالها، فهذا شيء مميز. يعني ما عندناش لا في الاوتلوك ولا في اي شيء ثاني. يعني لما نحب نبعث مثلا بس لهذا الجريد بالضبط ولهذا وفي selected يعني جريدات، ف it's really very easy في السكول فويس ومش موجودة في أي شيء ثاني.
سهل يتم إنه استخدامه من أي حدا، يعني ما بحاجة لكتير إنه تريننج أو ما في complications، يعني ما في إشي complicated فيه، سهل بسيط easy.
I like the translation piece, to be honest, because I don't speak Arabic fluently, so translation helps me a lot.
I don't want to give a 10 because I'm a teacher and you never give a 10. So I would give it a 9 or a 9.5. And honestly, a big part of it is not only the platform, but I want to call it the customer service.
برشحوا عشان ما تتغروش بعطيكم 8 يعني متوقع انكم انا بشوف ان سكول فويس يعني كل يوم في جديد.
10 لا 25.
Knowing what I know as far as the potential and progress that is made up to this point and the way that they communicate, I'd probably give School Voice a 7.